Dear friends, in this topic, today we'll be seeing how memory is attached to the CPU and how CPU interacts with the memory to give us the desired output and result. We'll be going ahead and also seeing how CPU interacts with the different buses which are linked with the memory. It may be a type of system bus. So, what are what are the different types of memory and how they are attached? Now, the memory is being classified in the current diagram as the memory that is being used by the IO processors, then it is being used by the main memory, cache memory. Similarly, the auxiliary memory, it is called as magnetic disk and magnetic tapes. Now, what do you understand by auxiliary memory? Auxiliary memories are those memories which are attached externally also. Now, it may be in the form of magnetic tapes or magnetic disk. Now, IO processor, what is the input output processor, also consists of memory. And this magnetic tapes and magnetic disk are being attached to the IO processor. IO in processor is attached to the main memory, and main memory is attached to the cache memory. And all of these are into the unidirectional form, which are being attached to the CPU, and CPU is giving them instructions to perform the different sort of the operations. Now, there are different types of auxiliary memory. Now, let us go ahead and look at it one by one, from auxiliary memory to cache memory and then to main memory. Now, what do you understand by auxiliary memory? This type of memory is at the bottom and not connected to the CPU directly. It is not a part of the CPU directly, it is connected indirectly. And they are slow. It is present in large volume in the system due to its low pricing. This memory is basically used for storing the program that are not needed into the main memory. So you may require it or you may not require it. It also helps in freeing the main memory, which is utilized by other programs which are required into the main memory. The main function of this memory is to provide parallel searching that can be used for performing a search on an entire word. Now, why this memory is important? Because it freezes or some unimportant task into it, and main memory consists of the important components which are required at a frequent interval for the processing. So that is called as your auxiliary memory. Now, what is main memory? The main memory is at the second level of the hierarchy. Due to its direct connection with the CPU, it is also called as the central memory. The main memory holds the data and the program that are needed by the CPU. The main memory may consist of RAM, which is static, and it also has the dynamic mode. Now, first of all, let us understand what do you mean by static mode. Static mode are those types of mode which cannot be changed, but dynamic modes are those modes into the memory which keeps on fluctuating, which keeps on updations and deletions and erasing goes on. Now, again, a question to you all. System files, when we install any sort of software into the system, first of all, the system file gets installed, it becomes compatible with our operating system, and then we are able to use it. These system files are stored in the main memory or auxiliary memory. Definitely, these system files are stored in the main memory, because without these system files, your PC or your laptop cannot be used. Now, what do you understand by cache memory? Cache memory is at the top level of the memory hierarchy. This is a high speed memory which is used to increase the speed of processing by making current programs and data available to the CPU at rapid rate. Cache memory also is usually placed between the CPU and the main memory. So you should understand the importance because CPU requires speed for processing the data and CPU is connected to the memory. So cache memory is placed between the CPU and the main memory so that it can process the data at a very, very high speed. Now, when you look at this diagram is basically divided into three parts: speed, cost, and the size. Now, this diagram, what we are seeing right now, it goes from bottom to top. It's a pyramid. It goes from bottom to top. And simultaneously, the size of the memory also shrinks. Now, when you look at the maximum space that is being used by the system is called as a secondary memory. The size of the secondary memory is very, very large. When it comes to RAM, the speed increases as compared to your secondary memory, and the cost also little increases. Similarly, the cache memory is being divided into two types, L1 cache and L2 cache. And the speed and the cost increases as well as the size decreases. And when it comes to registers, the speed, size, and cost play a very, very important role because the speed increases along with the cost also increases as well as the size reduces to a very, very large extent.